Hello, thank you for clicking this video. I'm gonna be doing a game review on oh, Kingdom Hearts 3D Dream Drop Distance, and I played the whole game. I beat it. I didn't get every secret, but I got pretty far in it. So what I'm going to do is going to name the main points of it, and then I'm going to give a score for it out of 10. And 10 will be like Halo 4, Call of Duty, Super Mario Galaxy quality, and then, or even better than that, and then a 5 would be like pretty average with a lot of bugs. A 7 would be considered what most people would think like an average game, like okay, and then anything lower than a 5 really is like you should not even touch it. Okay, so first of all, I want to give you a little bit of background history. They've had a lot of Kingdom Hearts games on the handhelds recently, and they're kind of like fillers for until the third one, and all of them have been prequels or like 2.2, 2.5. I'm like, this is the first one to actually progress in the story. So I think I'm happy that they decided to actually go forward into the story. First, I think I'll cover the presentation. So, first of all, the box itself, I think it's really beautiful artwork. And then the back is just, your cheesy advertising. When you open it, uh, okay, as I was saying, when you open it, it comes with 3 cards in a plastic packaging. I already tore the plastic packaging, so they're just already open. And let's see, there's this card, there's this card, and then there's this card. And what they do is there's an AR feature on the 3DS, and if you don't know what that is, you point the camera towards it, it recognizes a certain code on whatever it is you're pointing at, and that can be used to like have a I don't know, like in on your game screen to have like a monster appear and you move the card and the monster's attached to it. So it's a little gimmick. But these monsters in the game are used as partners or allies. So it is useful. You get a good ally at the beginning. And I used um, I used one of them and it was pretty good. Let's put that aside. Next, I'd like to mention this, the box itself. Inside. I don't know if you can see that. But inside it has little squares and then little characters of those monsters I said that are at your eyelids in each one. I think that's pretty cool. It's very nice looking. And then the instruction booklet, your instruction booklet, it's really pretty. It's full color design, nice pictures. It's not crappy. Different languages, of course. And then you got your Club Nintendo code. And you know what? I'm going to go ahead and give you the code for this game I bought. So the first person to view this and they have a Club Nintendo account, congratulations. I would do that with any game that has it, because I do not use Club Nintendo, I don't really care. There you go. Okay. And then, what not to that other clip. Okay. So the presentation actually inside the game. Well, the game, the menu system is very nice. It's easy to use, it's flexible, and it's not confusing at all. So you won't, like, some games are menu systems, and these type of RPG games are really confusing. This one's not. It's colorful, it's nice looking, it's pretty, has a clean design to it. It's kind of crisp. And then the presentation when it comes like in game and cutscenes, the cutscenes are, I guess, PS2 quality graphics, or a little bit above that. It's like between PS2 and 360. And then the in-game graphics are about PS2, or a little bit above that, and it's pretty good. I think they went with the same art style or direction they've done for every Kingdom Hearts game. The only difference is it seems a little bit more slightly darker themed, actually. I felt like there was a tone of darkness or mature, just a slight higher tone of maturity to it. I got that feeling from it. I don't know why. So, here's the character models. They look nice. They're not blocky. The 3D is okay. I like how the HP bar, so it's like to you, it's gonna be right here for perception, and if you put the 3D on, it's in front of everything. So it does look nice. The only bad side is when you put 3D on some games like this one, the graphics do get a little bit more pixelated. And honestly, I just go back and forth whenever I feel like it. So it's not that big of a deal. In the 3D, we're on 30 frames per second, and it's whatever you want. But the preference is there. Next thing is, I guess, story. Yeah. Okay, I'm not going to go too much into the story because the story is really long, convoluted. I'll just make it simple. Sora and Riku have to, or the story's themed around they have to go into worlds that are asleep, and they have to wake them up. Like literal worlds asleep. And so they're disconnected from basically all perception and reality unless you do something specific to get to them. And then twists and turns here and there, and it gets pretty confusing. And there's a plot summary synopsis within the game itself that covers all the other games, so I don't want to go over that. Just know that the story is convoluted. It's gotten to the point where it's convoluted. It wasn't always, but they do their best to try to explain it to you. I guess the main thing I could say is that it revolves around the idea that in every person's heart there's darkness, and that can manifest as physical beings, and then there's other monsters based on those themes and ideas. So the story is unique. Also in the fact that it has Disney characters integrated with like a RPG style of storytelling. So that's cool. The graphics, I already mentioned them, but yeah, they're nice. Nice looking with the 3D off, the 3D on. They're a little bit more pixelated, not too big of a deal. And I was really surprised how colorful and clean everything looked. It was very nice. I think it looked better than, almost better than PS2. So that some textures were better, but some models, like the pixelation, was slightly worse. So it's just whatever. Like, unless you're a graphics whore, then you're not really going to care. You're going to like it. Sense Convention. No, that's about graphics. It's just really good. Whatever I said previously. I guess gameplay, that's important. Okay, the gameplay here is, if you ever played another Kingdom Hearts game, it's exactly the same, except it's more focused around Kingdom Hearts 1 mixed with with Rechain of Memories. So instead of cards, you do have like a collection of moves. It feels like you're collecting moves, not unlocking them almost, but even though you do. Because you can have special abilities unlocked permanently or temporarily based on what allies you have. So if I had like a dragon as an ally, which I don't think there really is, but there kind of is, but let's just say that I have a dragon as an ally, and in its abilities I can unlock with a point system that you gain through battle and other various things within the game. I can buy skills, I can buy boosts to me in my ally, and it can also affect items and things like that. It doesn't feel too overpowered. At some points it does, in my opinion. Like I felt the game was kind of easy, but you can change the difficulty if you want. I played on normal, and since I'm so used to the game already, like the series, I guess it was kind of easy for me, so it's not that big a deal. The boss fights, since everyone likes boss fights, they're really good. Some of them are kind of lame, but most of them they got more creative this time. And the end boss fight, I won't spoil it for you, but it was pretty epic. It felt very tenseful. Let's just put that. Let's just say that. Okay. Um, since it's like other Kingdom Hearts games, whatever they changed was we've already mentioned the allies, and the game does feel slightly less satisfying than the Kingdom Hearts 1 and Kingdom Hearts 2. Like when you hit or killed an enemy and they do that final slash, it feels there's a sense of satisfaction, and it's almost a little bit less of that in this game. It's hard to explain. It does feel very floaty. That's my only gripe. Actually, I think that's the pros. So I'll go ahead and go to the cons. And then anything else I'll think of, I'll come back to it. But there's some major cons in this game, which is that there's slow motion, which is a new type of ability they added, and it's so overpowered. I hate it. I mean, it's really cool at first because you can basically can manipulate the map is the movement of the map itself. So you can go from point A to point B really fast and quickly. You can skip all battles if you wanted. You can abuse it and just keep like repeating the same move over and over, and they can't really damage you. And even bosses. And I'm like, I could just not do that, but just the fact that if they put it in there is like, it's so overpowered. Like, if they let me use it, uh, if I could be countered when using flow motion, and if they only let me jump maybe once after I used it, or they didn't let me use it repeatedly over and over, infinitely, like you're Superman, then I would have liked it more. So it's in the right direction, but it has a lot of flaws. Another thing is the online's kind of lackluster. It does have a Dark Souls type of thing going on where if you walk around, you might have someone's random um, battle they created that you can try out to beat. Some are hard, some are easy. You might get some rewards they put up. There's a far and few between during each level, but what I mean by that is when you create them, like you'll probably wait days and days and days and days until somebody tries it out. And then it also has I guess a card battle with your allies you can play. It's like a fun mini game, and it's pretty good. But the online in that mini game is there's no one ever there. Like I left it on for a few hours and no one connected, so maybe you might be able to. I was not able to, so I would have to give that a downside that I was not able to easily access it. But it's probably because it's not that high in popularity. Um, Forgot to mention some other pros, which I remembered, like I said, because I'm just talking off the top of my head. You know what I mean? There's very uh, There's varied skills, magic, and and weapons in the game. Of course, they're all keyblades, but still, they're they're very colorful. They're nice looking. They're diverse. And unlike in previous games where magic just felt like an add-on, in this game, I could play an entire game with just magic. I never had to use my keyblade once, almost. And to me, that's pretty good. I mean, like I like how you could choose either play style, and in other previous games you couldn't really do that. You could try, but it wasn't very efficient or feasible. And some other things about the gameplay is that the type of game it is, it's an RPG. So it's like battle this group of monsters. You level up, you gain experience, spend your points on things, stuff like that. It is a button masher, so you will be repeating like the same. If you're a physical fighter in the game, you'll be just mashing the A button over and over, and you can um, because there's slots. You have a slot menu, your perspective right here in the game, and as you unlock abilities, you can add them there or remove them, and it does add variation, so you're not just button mashing. But then another problem comes in, which is it can get a little bit um, getting used to be able to do it quickly, and I feel like I spent more time looking at the menu. Did it again, looking at the menu here, than I did actually focusing on fighting, and that was like another gripe I had. Some more cons, and then I think it'll be done with gameplay, is that it feels really empty and less stuff to do. The worlds are really big, which is different from the previous games, and they're nicely designed. I have to put that, but even just because it's big doesn't mean it's good. So what I mean is that they're nicely designed in that they accurately represent whatever place they're trying to make, but everything feels really kind of just thrown in there. It doesn't feel like they added any key events or anything. They're like, oh look, we need to put something here. Let's put a bomb. Let's put this group of enemies. Like, I wish more stuff happened, and that the storytelling integrated itself more with the locations like previous games. It felt really all over the place sometimes, and it was the right direction. Again, not executed that well in my opinion. I think that's the main points of the gameplay. Actually, you know what? I would say one more thing. In other previous games, they had to go from world to world, like I guess level to level. In your how you might understand it is they had a gummy ship mini game from the other games, and it was I had fun with it, but I know a lot of people didn't like it. So I will tell you that that's gone, and it's been replaced by a different style mini game, and it is faster. It feels like Star Fox kind of, except you're a floating person diving into like an abyss, and then you have to dodge things and destroy things. I missed the gummy ship, so if you like the gummy ship mini game, you might like this one. But if you hated the gummy ship mini game, then that's good news. You don't have to do it. And you can skip the mini game too. All right, that's it for gameplay. And then I guess I'd have to go over any miscellaneous things. My miscellaneous thing is I'm happy they decided to push the series forward, but they made some mistakes. It doesn't feel the same game. It doesn't feel like the previous games. Like Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2, it might be just nostalgia, or I was a kid, but they felt they felt better. They felt like they had a stronger foundation. And I think it's the story. It's very convoluted now. And it's confusing for some people, and that affects it. The gameplay's fun. If you like the beat 'em ups, RPG style games, you'll love this game. And if you like Disney, then you really like this game because it integrates that with other game franchises and things like that, such as The World Ends With You. That's here in this game. major characters. So actually 0 out of 10. I remember 10 being like Halo 4, Call of Duty, like Super Mario Galaxy, which are not really Halo 4. People won't consider that, but definitely Super Mario Galaxy. People consider it like one of the best platformers in history. So, I mean, it's got to be damn good to be a 10. And then 5 is like kind of bad. It's average, but bad average. And then 7's like an okay average you could play and still enjoy. And then 8 would be your run of the mill, like, oh, that's a really good game. That's a really good game. It's not amazing or like mind blowing, but it is really good. And then a 9 would be a step up. It's like, oh, it's just short from epic greatness. So it's really, really good. It's like excellent. So I would give this game a 7.5. And I have to say that I know a lot of review sites gave it a higher score, but that's how I felt when playing it. It felt incomplete, or it felt like there could a lot have been. It could have had a lot of polishing and would have been way better. So if they had fixed all those previous bugs I mentioned, not bugs, like flaws or gripes I had, then I would have gave the game like an 8.5. But they didn't, and you can't just ignore it. Like it keeps coming at you. It keeps getting in your face every time. Some stuff in games you can just like get over, get used to it. This for me I couldn't. It was a recurring problem. It felt like a problem and not just a shortcoming. So that's why I give it a 7.5. Thanks for watching. This is my first review out of many I'm going to make, hopefully. And my recommendation, I think if you like Kingdom Hearts, you should get this game. It does progress the story. You'll like where it's going. It has a lot of twists and turns, and if you like Axel, then you should get this game. Or if you don't like Kingdom Hearts, or if you never played Kingdom Hearts, then it's a pretty good RPG. The previous games were better. You should try the main ones on the PS2. Yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll be reviewing stuff later.